Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at NuScale power. It is time for another update, and it seems it hasn't been really participating yesterday in the larger market rally that has been occurring at least to some degree on most charts. Now sure, some of them were a lot stronger than others in their movements, but not really this chart. No, we have seen maybe an internal correction within this area, but this is probably suggestive of still another low. Now we'll be discussing this in a moment, but I want to go quickly through the larger time frame for any of you who might be new before we go there. And here we are basically tracking potential 1, 2, 1, 2 setup at the moment, where afterwards we would like to see a third wave to the upside. Now, as I was mentioning, even in the previous videos, there are scenarios that would allow us to push higher even into new all-time highs in different interpretations, not necessarily within a so strong and impulsive wave 3. It might even line up better with what is expected from the broader market, although as it can easily be seen here, it is not necessarily participating even in this small relief rally that we have seen occur yesterday, and it may not participate in a larger decline that we may see in the future. It might be able still to push even in such a pattern. At the moment we are still holding here the area of support that we have been tracking ever since we have actually formed this wave 1 top. And although we need to be extremely careful, since from the all-time high we did get a 5-wave move to the downside, I am not necessarily looking for too much direct continuation within this area. If we are going to check this structure from an RSI perspective, from a structural standpoint, we should be prepared to form a bottom at any point. In fact, this continuation lower is exactly what we have been tracking in the previous video, where we were having here relevant areas of support that would have allowed a more direct breakout, and we even had the blue scenario that would have allowed the WXY structure, within which we would have even been able to already bottom within the wave 2, but the structure was suggestive that the orange interpretation should be expected to succeed in forming this structure. Now, in this orange scenario, from this time frame perspective, we have a full ABC movement, in which case we realistically don't need any additional lows. Sure, we may get another push here internally within this 5th wave to the downside, but I wouldn't necessarily be jumping to believe that we are not going to manage to create a reversal before having a sustained break below the area of support that we are tracking here internally. Now, in this structure, in this wave 4, nothing unexpected happened. We pushed here into the area of resistance and we continued in this downtrend. Also, we can remove here the blue interpretation as well. And within this 5th wave, in fact, in the previous video, we were looking for the ABC structure, which honestly at this point seems to have followed through quite well. We already had the wave 2 in place. We didn't necessarily hold any relevant support levels, and we were looking with high probability for a continuation of this 5th wave to the downside, within the area of support, but quite possibly pushing even through the area of support slightly. Now, if we get a sustained break below such an area of support, it would be quite an important signal, because it would allow us to gauge that with high probability we should be tracking that this 5-wave move to the downside could be the beginning of a larger downtrend. We may get something like a 3-wave move to the upside. It may even look like a possible rally that we would normally expect, and then get another 5-wave move to the downside within a larger correction. This doesn't need to be the exact pattern we are tracking here. This could be an A wave down, we get the B wave up, and then a C wave to the downside. Although right now I am again rather inclined to believe that this structure shouldn't necessarily extend too much. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible. This is about probabilities, and based on the actual structure, the momentum has been slowing. Based on the RSI, we have seen significant divergence here even on the daily time frame, and I am looking to form a more significant bottom here within the near term. Now, internally within this structure, in the wave 3, I would probably even need to consider that this 3rd wave has only just finished the current low, since we have only gotten to the ideal target after having the completion of this internal movement. So I would have liked to consider here an earlier completion of the wave 3 to get to the 138.2% extension of the wave 1. We were eyeing that even in the previous video here, the $16.2 level, or yeah, its whereabouts. And then I would have liked to see immediately after getting to that level a larger correction in a wave 4, and then a fifth wave to the downside to have a clear bottom. Now, it is possible that the third wave has indeed bottomed within this area, but honestly, it didn't even get here to the ideal target of our wave 4 correction. Yeah, we did extend in a larger correction before continuing in this downtrend in a more direct fashion. And now, yeah, honestly, the fact that we also didn't participate in a large rally, in a stronger movement to the upside, is very suggestive to me that this wave 4 might have topped here or could honestly still be ongoing. Yeah, we could even consider the third wave bottom here instead. And in such a case, I would still be watching for resistances and an additional low before I would consider this count clearly full. It might be done. We don't necessarily absolutely need additional lows, but I would probably be rather inclined, and I would probably prefer to still have another push to the downside within this area in an ABC movement, especially as we hold here below the area of resistance between the $16.5 all the way up to the $18 level at the 61.8% retracement, where, yeah, indeed, if we break here above the 61.8% retracement, it would be quite an indicative sign that this structure has come to an end, and that we should be prepared even for a larger movement to the upside. Yeah, we should be prepared even for a large wave B, even possibly for the third wave from the larger white scenario. But for now, we still need to be patient. We still need to be tracking here these internal structures, because so far we have only had one quick push into the 23.6% retracement, definitely in a three-wave structure to the upside. So technically this correction could be complete, but nothing is necessarily stopping this wave 4 from extending, although yeah, I would probably prefer to have a completion here within the wave 4. I would like to see here another ABC structure within the wave 5 to the downside, and a completion of this larger pattern, with perhaps even a quick dip below the larger area of support in white. Again, we need a sustained break from the large time frame perspective to consider that this area of support did not hold. Yeah, if we get a quick wick below it within this wave 5, it is no biggie. We can still track the larger uptrend. We can still track a third wave to the upside. And honestly, for a full invalidation of this structure, we would need anyway to break below the beginning of this wave 1. Yeah, the $11 level is invalidation. What really happens if we break below the area of support is a dire shift in the probabilities of this structure working out into a larger movement to the upside, be it a wave 3 or even a different structure. And for now, these are the levels. This is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.